The Gemara teaches us something seemingly extraordinary, that we have a reason why the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. And the Gemara says in the introduction, the words from King Solomon, Ashrei Adam Mefached Tamid. Praiseworthy is the man who's always in fear. Makshe liboy yipol bera. And the one who hardens his heart, makes his heart unfeeling, in the end he will fall into not good things. And the Torah is telling us that we have to be feeling people. People that are okay with feeling. Having the shivchi kamayim libech, noichach pnei Hashem, letting our hearts flow forth with feeling. We believe a lot in feeling. And one of the great secrets is that the feeling of the Jewish heart is not something that you have to create. It's not something that you have to inject inside. The feelings of the heart are already there. You just need to open up the floodgates. And it will come gushing forth, the feelings. And the Gemara means by that is you should feel that the things that you do matter. And then the Gemara says, and what are we talking about? What things matter? Oh, the story of Kamtza and Bar Kamtza. So just to go into that for a moment, that through this story of Kamtza and Bar Kamtza, Charav Yerushalayim, everything is being destroyed. It sounds hardcore. It sounds very hardcore. That through this story of Kamtza and Bar Kamtza, the entire Yerushalayim, all of Tisha B'Av is happening because of this incident. And the story begins, Tehau Gavra de Rachmei Kamtza, that there was a person and he had somebody that he loved named Kamtza and somebody that he hated called Bar Kamtza. So I was thinking, do you know why Yerushalayim is destroyed? Because there could be such a thing as having somebody that you hate. How could there be such a thing? How is it that somebody hates somebody? How could there be such a thing? A Yid hates another Yid? That's already the story. That there's such a thing called a Baal Devave. There could be such a thing as somebody that somebody hates? How could there be such a thing? Holding on to a hatred? It says, Lo yisisna achicha b'levavecha. Don't hate your fellow in your heart. You're not even allowed to have a hate in your heart, certainly not to show it. It can't even be in the heart. How could it be? How could there be such a reality? That, I think, itself is already the churban. That's already the destruction, that there's a place inside of me that could hate another person. Which already in itself, if anybody in this moment feels inside of them there's any place called hate to another person, just forgive. Or call that person right now. Is there a siddur? There's a siddur here. There's something very important to see. Oh, thank you. Shkoyach. Oh, mamish. Tizke l'mitzvos. I'm always very moved by this, that in the Kriyat Shema Lamita, in the bedtime Shema, we say the following words. Ribbonu shel olam, Master of the world. Hareini moicha l'kol mi, I forgive anybody. Shehichis vehiknit oisi, anybody who angered, anybody who antagonized me. But what do you mean? They did stuff to me. I can't forgive them. Oisha chata kenegdi, they sinned against me. Bein begufi, my body, they hurt me. Bein b'mamoini, They stole my money. They cheated me. Bein bechvoidi, my honor. They disrespected me in front of everybody. Barabim, bein b'chol asher li, or anything that is to me. Bein ba'oinus, or whether they did so accidentally. Bein b'rotzen, or they wanted to. They were scheming to get me. Bein b'shoigeg, whether it was a shoigeg. Bein b'mezid, or deliberate. Bein b'dibor, whether they did through speech. Bein b'maise, or they physically hurt me. Bein b'machshava, or they thought. Bein b'hirhur, whether through notion, hirhur. This is important. Bein begilgul zeh, whether in this lifetime, bein begilgul acher, or they sinned against me in another lifetime, in a previous lifetime. Somebody who messed you over 4 lifetimes ago, and you're holding on to some cosmic trauma in your DNA, in your psyche. In all of those cases, L'kol bar Yisrael lo ya'anei shum odom b'sibosi yirotzain milfanecha. I forgive everybody. I forgive everybody. Imagine if every single Yid before they went to bed said this. Mashiach would come right now. It's an amazing thing. You could say this, by the way, anytime you want. I forgive everybody. Everybody. I forgive everybody. Everything. Oh, my roommate that woke me up, and he did this, and he did that. And his negavas is too loud, and this, and whatever. I forgive it all. I forgive everything. He stole, he cheated. Terrible things. I forgive it all. Because you know what the secret is? It all came from Shemayim. It all came from heaven. Nobody can lift a finger against you unless Hashem says it should happen. So how could you hate? How could you hate? The very fact that Hahu Gavra has somebody that he hates, he's missing the whole thing. Back in the olden days, they used to say it like this: don't hate the player, hate the game. It's a past reincarnation of mine. And really what that's saying is that the game means that yes, there's evil in the world. And that we want to leave ka'osh and tichle, like smoke dissipates. But the person's a neshama, a soul. And now Tisha B'Av, you have to make that distinction of yes, there's a soul here, and I love that soul. And that evil part will disappear. People should learn Reish Pei Beis, Reb Nachman, to find the Nekuda Toiva, the good. Keep looking for the good. Identify with another Yid as the good. That is who they are. So this is so anti-Jewish. Kamtza and Bar Kamtza, that there should be such a reality of someone that you hate. That itself is the Churban of Yerushalayim. If there's anybody, chas v'shalom, that there's a feeling towards, just call that person right now. Just say, I forgive you, I love you, bro. I love you. Just forgive. Forgive everything. Forgive everything. Another question that comes up here in Kamtza and Bar Kamtza is, there's somebody that's mysteriously missing from the entire story. It says, because of the story of Kamtza and Bar Kamtza, Yerushalayim is destroyed. What did Kamtza do? Kamtza, we don't even hear about him. Why was it on Kamtza or Bar Kamtza? Remember, Bar Kamtza is the one that came to the Suda. And Kamtza was the one that he loved. What did Kamtza do? Why is it? It should say, because of Bar Kamtza and Hahu Gavra. What's a Kamtza or Bar Kamtza? So the Marsha says famously that Kamtza and Bar Kamtza were father and son. Kamtza and Bar Kamtza were father and son. So you have Hahu Gavra, this person who's best friends with the father, and he hates the son. How could it be? This is your best friend, and you're not working on the relationship of your best friend with your son? Kamtza was also off. It can't be that your best friend has such a problem with your son. There needs to be a healing in that relationship as well. The Yalkut HaGershoni says an amazing thing. If Kamtza was the best friend of Hahu Gavra, so Hahu Gavra sends his shamish, his attendant, to go and bring Kamtza, right, to the meal, to the Suda. What happened? The shamish made a mistake and he brought Bar Kamtza instead. Says the Yalkut Gershoni, if Kamtza is the best friend of Hahu Gavra, why did he wait to be invited to the Suda? He should have been there. What's he waiting for? Some fancy invitation? This is your best friend. He's making a big Suda. You should have been one of the first guys there. It's like your best friend. You even need to give him an invitation for the wedding. He should be there by the chassan tish, like 5 hours early. He's like the guy hanging out, making sure everything's there. You need to wait. He was like somehow not there. Ad kedei kach, that Hahu Gavra, I don't see my best friend. Can you go summon him that he should come? Like, I'm making the biggest party of the year and he's not here. And therefore, if he would have been there, the whole mix-up wouldn't have happened. It's an amazing chiddush in looking at it. I was always told by Rav Aaron David from the Mir, big tzaddik, that try to go to everybody's simchas. He makes a big thing. By the way, Rabbi Rossman is a master at this. He is by everybody's simchas. Is that you want to be by people's simchas. You want to be there. You want to be close to people. And you want to be at people's simchas. It's a very big thing. Not like someone's making a simcha, you try to do the best you can. And like you're hanging out and maybe you'll go, maybe not. It's a big thing. When you go to somebody's simcha, I have no idea, basically, what they served at my wedding. I can't even tell you. And then I saw the pictures afterwards. Oh, we had that. I didn't even know. And you see like the pictures of the table, what was on the table. I didn't know it was fleishiks, this, I have no idea. But every face that comes to say Mazel Tov, you register, you see, you're like, thank you so much for coming. Somebody makes a Shalom Zachar. And you go to their Shalom Zachar. It means so much because it makes the person feel so honored, like, thank you for coming to my simcha. Don't feel like I shouldn't burden them to come to the simcha. The one who's hosting the simcha feels so good when all of his loved ones come and are there. And don't just leave after like a second. You do what you can. I'll tell you, the Lelever Rebbe is so amazing. He was just here in the Yeshiva for a great bar mitzvah. And the Rebbe Mamish just stays by the simcha. A long time he was there, sitting, speaking, with the oilam, brachas. Mom, like, here, the Rebbe's here, for a long time. When you can go to people's simchas that you love and just be around people's simchas, it's so life-giving. And therefore, maybe we also have another indication of why Kamtza himself was mentioned. I want to just end by one more point from the Yismach Moshe. We know the Yismach Moshe's whole world was just to bring Mashiach. Everything about the Yismach Moshe was just to bring Mashiach. His whole life, he passed away, Koyach, Tammuz, the time, during the 3 weeks, just yearning and yearning for Mashiach. His whole life is just to yearn for Mashiach. So he said an interesting pshat. Why was Kamtza mentioned that he was loved? Right? The Gemara says that he had somebody that dirachmei, that he loved, whose name was Kamtza, ubal devave, and somebody that he hated called Bar Kamtza. Why did it say that he was loved? Just tell me that he hated this other guy, and now I see why Yerushalayim was destroyed. Why does it say that he loved him? Because you might have thought that the reason why Yerushalayim was destroyed is because Hahu Gavra wasn't fulfilling Ve'ahavta l'recha kamoicha. He wasn't somebody who loved other people. No, don't think that. He did actually love somebody. There was somebody that he was close to, and he had a closeness to that person. What was the problem? He had a closeness to this guy, but he hated this guy. So a person should think right now, come on, I'm a good guy. I love Jews. I love people. I love humanity. Yeah, you love this one, but not this one? Just because you might love a lot of people, but you've got beef with these other people, that's enough that Yerushalayim, Hashem Yerachim, would be destroyed. And I love, but I also hate. You can't do that. So he wanted to tell you, it wasn't the problem of Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha. He had that, but he also had the sinas chinam. It can't be. Sometimes Hashem Yerachim, we have these things, these called cliques. I've got my chevra, my cliques, whatever. Cliques aren't games, pieces that kids play with, that most of the Rabbanim say you shouldn't play with on Shabbos because of boine. Cliques mean I've got my group of people, we're very tight, but we don't mingle with, that other clique. Chas v'shalom. Chas v'shalom. To love, to mamish love. To love. There can't be. And don't say, but I have a rachmei, I have somebody that I love, but this other one I don't. It can't be. To open your heart big. Big, mamish. And then the Yismach Moshe says one other point. He says, it says derachmei. Rachmei is an interesting word to use. It should have said derachim Kamtza, that he loves Kamtza. Rachmei, a new way to look at it, means actually he didn't actually have so much love for Kamtza. Rachmei means he really loved himself. And Kamtza would hook him up with things. It was a beneficial relationship. So he didn't even have the Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha in Kamtza. Rachmei, he was doing it out of his love for himself, not out of his love for Kamtza. Because if he really loved him, says the Yismach Moshe, it should have been that mitzvah of loving Kamtza would have protected to not fall into this terrible cycle of destruction, because we have a concept called shomer mitzvah, lo yeda davara. Somebody who keeps mitzvahs, they won't have bad things come out. So it has to be that there must, what do you mean? He loved Kamtza. It wasn't enough. It was something that was off, even in that relationship with Kamtza, that was off. Tisha B'Av is a time of so much opportunity that the deepest emotion in the world is pain. It's where you access something very, very deep. It can't be that we don't have Beis HaMikdash. It can't be. All the problems of the world, every single pain, every bit of anxiety, everything is because of no Beis HaMikdash. And the healing happens today. The healing happens by by going into your heart and saying, I forgive. I forgive everybody. I absolutely right now forgive. I'm going to call that person right now. I'm going to call them right now. I'm just going to say, I forgive you. I love you. I'm sorry. It can't be. We need Mashiach Mamish. It can't be. There's no option. It has to happen. And Mashiach will bring so much blessing to the whole world, to all of humanity, that will truly come to a time, Yemalia Aretz De'es Hashem, Kamayim Liyam Mechasim, that will be so deeply connected to each other, to Hashem, and that connection of God will fill the world like water covers the sea floor. We'll see blessing, we'll see everyone coming home once and for all. Yerushalayim Yer HaKodesh, Mashiach Tzidkeinu B'mhirav Yameinu. Amen.
Amen.
Hatzlacha Rabbi say a wonderful, wonderful Zman HaBeinayim. We should be Zoich HaMamish, to be celebrating together Kara Elai Moyed, that as we get up on Tisha B'Av, should be Mamish, an absolute time of Sos and Simcha, and the birth of Mashiach should happen. We should see it B'Poyel Mamish. Amen.
Amen.